Welcome to Actual Spinster. My name is Anna Marie and Happy New Year. I'm gonna go through my best books of 2024. If you've been around on this channel for like the past 6 years, which is crazy, instead of doing like a kind of like proper chatty video about like my top 10 or whatever of each year, I make a like superlative list kind of. So this year we're going to start off with best translated book, which is going to go to Family Lexicon by Natalia Ginzburg, translated by Jenny McPhee, and also to another Natalia Ginzburg book, Voices in the Evening. Family Lexicon also gets a best book about an idiosyncratic anti-fascist Italian family, and Voices in the Evening gets best book about fascism's breakdown of personal relationships and continuing to live after trauma. Best book about growing up, fishing, and human-cat friendship goes to The House of Rust by Khadija Abdallah Bajaba. Best historical fantasy novel about making film and being monstrous goes to Siren Queen by Nevo. Best novel about family relationships and violence goes to Happiness as Such by Natalia Ginzburg, translated by Minna Proctor, I think. Best book about writing, fake autobiographies, and fiction impacting real life goes to Loitering with Intent by Muriel Spark, which also definitely picks up best title. Best young adult book about Wales, renewal and tradition goes to The Whale Rider by Witi Ihimira. This whole reading year has not been great for me, and especially I've been like depressed for the past 5 months, so I think that's really massively impacting. But the best book about spinsters I think is going to have to go to Baba Yaga's Assistant by Marika McCool, I think, with illustrations by E.M. Carroll. Best work of non-fiction, I think, in general, and also best work of like graphic non-fiction that so inspiringly brings periodicals to life goes to A Bintel Brief, Love and Longing in Old New York by Liana Fink. Most punk book about magic, libraries and zombies goes to The Barrow Will Send What It May by Margaret Killjoy. And best writer of the year I think probably would go to Natalia Ginzburg, because she's just been like, there's so many of her books that I read this year. But also Margaret Killjoy probably would also pick up best writer of the year for me too. Best series probably goes to A Series of Unfortunate Events, which I read 7 or 8 of this year by Lemony Snicket. Best book in a kids series I think will go to either The Reptile Room in A Series of Unfortunate Events or The Vile Village, also in A Series of Unfortunate Events. Best end to a fantasy series goes to The Other Wind by Ursula K. Le Guin, which is part of the Earthsea series. Grossest Ikea's book goes to A Guest in the House by E.M. Carroll, and also probably When I Arrived at the Vampire Castle, also by E.M. Carroll. But I think most disappointing, kind of also, especially ending wise, also kind of is picked up by both of these. Most remarkable book for its publication date goes to Amy Furness Scholar by Catherine St. John Conway, which was published in 1896 and is very gay. So it also scoops up gayest Victorian novel. And it also scoops up most convincing case for Christian socialism, although not that convincing, and free love ethics. The largest or longest book goes to either Meanwood by Nicola Griffith or Shelley by Charlotte Bronte, but I think Meanwood is actually the longer one. And of course Meanwood also picks up best historical fantasy that is about groundedness and growth. And I think best overall Victorian novel does go to Shelley by Charlotte Bronte. Best book about research in art goes to White on White by Aisha Gul Savash. Best book about vampires being an MLM or like a pyramid scheme goes to Carpe Jugulum by Terry Pratchett, which is of course like the best Discworld book of the year for sure. Best novel that's so cool, Marxist feminist, and extremely clever about like the literary form goes to The Golden Notebook by Doris Lessing. The sweetest book in a world of difficulty, transmisogyny and suicide goes to Little Fish by Casey Plett, which also gets most charming protagonist for Wendy, who is lovely. And absolute best books of the year go to Meanwood, The Barrow Will Send What It May, Carpe Jugulum, Little Fish and The Golden Notebook. Also, I wanted to add in a little best zine, because obviously I've gotten into zines, especially in the latter half of the year, or maybe like latter quarter of the year really. So I think the best zine probably goes to Fan Fiction by Tavi Gevinson. I think that's everything. Definitely let me know how your year of reading went, if you share any best ofs. I was sad that I couldn't find a book for like a few of the categories that I normally do find books for, especially like archives. Also sci-fi, I feel like I didn't read like any sci-fi except for maybe one singular sci-fi book. I hope you've had a nice New Year time. I hope you have a good beginning to the new year, and thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I will talk to you when I next talk to you. Bye!